Daniel 7. What if the official story of history, the glorious monuments, the marble statues, the victory parades, is a lie? Selim Yelnats here, and I'm gonna run it down for us. What if the real autobiography of empire isn't written in stone, but in tooth and claw? Daniel chapter 7 pulls back the veil, not just on politics, but on reality itself. It reveals that the powers of this world are monstrous beasts, churned up from a sea of chaos. But it doesn't stop there. It shows us the one place they can't escape, a divine courtroom where the books are opened, their leases expire, and a truly human king is given a throne that never decays. Here's where we miss it. Look at Ephesians 6:12. Daniel, an exile deep within the machinery of empire, pivots from recounting history to receiving it raw. The narrative camera shifts from the terrestrial to the visionary. He sees the great sea, stirring. In the biblical imagination, this isn't a vacation spot. This is Tehom, the primordial abyss from Genesis, the waters of chaos that predate creation. It is the raw, untamed, ungoverned symbol for a world without a king, the place where Leviathan dwells. It is the source code of threat. A Gnostic might nod in recognition, but with a twist. For them, this sea isn't chaos, but the system itself, the stagnant, soupy consciousness of the material world ruled by lower, arrogant powers. From this cosmic anxiety, something always crawls forth. 4 beasts rise from the sea chaos imagery. Then, Ancient of Days sits in judgment. Son of Man receives an everlasting kingdom. This is why it matters. Daniel 2 shows empires as a statue, human glory. Daniel 7 shows them as beasts, predatory reality. Gnostic comparison sometimes describe cosmic rulers, archons, as beastly or monstrous powers. Daniel agrees on the diagnosis. Empires become beasts, but the cure is not secret ascent. It's divine court judgment, plus kingdom transfer to the Son of Man. As if on cue, 4 beasts emerge. Not just animals, but living ideologies, thrones made of flesh and appetite. Where Daniel 2 depicted human empire as a single gleaming statue, impressive, top-down, a monument to man's ambition, Daniel 7 reveals its true nature from the bottom up. They are predators. A lion with eagle's wings, a bear devouring flesh, a leopard of terrifying speed, and a 4th so dreadful it defies zoology. This is the Bible's brutal diagnosis. When humanity rejects its divine image, it doesn't become neutral, it becomes beastly. Power untethered from God is predatory by definition. It is the principle of the archons, rulers who fashion the world in their own hungry image, feeding on fear and demanding allegiance. Then the vision focuses. From the head of the 4th monster sprouts a little horn. It is the archetype of malignant power, small in origin, but growing grotesquely loud in its own self-importance. It speaks great things. This isn't just political propaganda. It is metaphysical arrogance. It is a finite power making infinite claims, blasphemously demanding the worship and authority that belong to God alone. It is the ruler, the demiurge of its own tiny system, declaring itself ultimate while persecuting those who remember a higher king. This is the spiritual fever of empire at its peak. But Daniel's vision offers no secret password for escape. It reveals a throne room, the lifespan of evil. The scene shatters. We are ripped from the chaotic sea to a courtroom. The Ancient of Days, around the throne and emanating fire, takes his seat. A river of fire flows before him, and 1,000 thousands minister. And then, the critical line, the court sat and the books were opened. This is the ultimate refutation of nihilism. History is not a random, meaningless slaughterhouse. The beast's rampage is not the final word. There is a record, there is a judge, and there will be a reckoning. For the Gnostic, the ultimate God can feel impossibly distant, hidden behind veils of unknowing. But Daniel's God is not remote. He is the active, presiding judge over the drama of human history, not merely a rescuer from it. Then comes the stunning climax. One like a son of man is brought on the clouds of heaven, a human figure, not a beast, not an angel, but man as he was meant to be, approaches the Ancient of Days, and he is given dominion, glory, and a kingdom that all peoples should serve. This is not a private, mystical ascent to an immaterial heaven. It is a public, cosmic transfer of power. The verdict is in. The beast's dominion was a temporary lease. The eternal kingdom belongs to true humanity, enthroned under God. The answer to a dehumanizing world isn't to become less human, but to be fully human. The endgame is not an escape from the body, but a rightful coronation. The angel explains, the beasts are kings, the struggle is real, and the saints, God's holy people, will endure immense pressure. But the courtroom's verdict stands. The saints will possess the kingdom. This is not the hope of an elite few who find a secret escape hatch out of history. It is a communal, historical promise. The suffering is not meaningless cosmic static. It is the friction that occurs when a temporary, beastly kingdom grinds against an eternal, human one. The pain is real, but it is framed by a promise of ultimate vindication. The arc of history is long, but it bends toward this courtroom. Daniel 7 serves as a perpetual warning. Power corrupts, and absolute power becomes monstrous. Any human system that declares itself ultimate is, by definition, a beast. But it is also a declaration of radical hope. If you have ever felt that the world is run by predators, Daniel says you're not crazy. You just have good eyesight. But you are not trapped. The beasts don't write the final chapter. The court does. Next time, we journey deeper into the vision. In Daniel 8, the timeline accelerates, a sacred space is violated, and heaven itself puts a number on the lifespan of evil.